have you once again on this week's edition of The Link. We hope we continue to give you value in terms of information you can use in your business for change and for decision making. Tonight we're speaking about certification. I'm sure it's not a new one, but we're going to speak about differences between certifications. And tonight, my guest is Mr. Philip Kahuma, who is the Principal Certification Officer, Uganda National Bureau of Standards. Philip, welcome.
Thank you. Good evening to our viewers, and thank you, NTV, for hosting us here.
Yes, absolutely. There is this thing which produces the Q mark, which is certification of a product, which UNBS, we know it more for. And yet also UNBS deals with ISO certification. So we have two certifications. What is the difference between the Q mark and ISO?
So, thank you. Both are certifications, and in technical terms are known as conformity assessment certifications.
Yes.
One is focusing in on the product, that is product certification, where we are checking whether a commodity conforms to the requirements set out for a product in a standard or other specification. For a system, we're looking at the conformity of a system, for example, a quality management system that has been implemented by an organization, whether it conforms to the requirements of a standard also that has been set for that system. For example, for the quality management system, we have ISO 9001:2015 as the primary standard for quality management systems. And we are able to assess whether the company's system, what they implement, meets the requirements of that standard.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in effect, product standard, that means that if I am making juice, it must be safe for consumers. That is clear to me.
Yeah.
But now, you are certifying my system, let me say for quality. What is it you are measuring?
So the juice is the output, the final product that you sell in the market. However, that juice comes out of a process or a set of processes that will deliver what the customer expects.
Okay.
So the requirements of a, let's say, quality system in a juice plant will be that you should be able to deliver the product, the juice, at the right price, at the right time, when it is required by the consumer, either in a restaurant, hotel, let's say in your home or supermarket. So that system is not only the equipment that makes the juice, it's also the suppliers of the fruits and vegetables that you use, suppliers of materials, the packing material and the like, the finance department that ensures that there are resources, the retail or business units that sell the product in the market.
Distribution.
Distribution, yeah, that's correct. Now, when all these come together, then you have a system. And the system is that set of interrelated processes that you use to meet customer requirements.
Okay.
In this case, the requirements for quality management.
Okay, very nice. So you look at all these things that kind of support the production of that juice.
Yes.
Okay, very good. I'm an SME, I'm thinking, okay, I have product, UNBS, I have the quality mark, my juice is safe and everything else. Why do I need now the other systems? Why? I thought if I have this is enough. Do I need ISO?
So the product certification is the minimum requirement. By law, you're required, for any commodity that has a compulsory standard, is required to obtain a permit to use the distinctive mark, which is commonly known as the UNBS Q mark. Okay. So this is a legal requirement. If you want to access the market, you should be able to show us or prove that your product meets those requirements. Now, after you have complied with the legal requirements, they are still your customers' requirements. They require the juice today, or they require 10,000 liters of juice. How are you going to ensure that they are available at the right price, the right time, and especially meeting their quality requirements? Some may require them packed in bulk, others may require them in disposable packs. So this is where the system comes in. And the system looks at the whole business and the value that you're going to get from implementing those sets of requirements that focus in on the customer and what the customer expects. Now, the other thing you should know is certain businesses require system certification as a prerequisite for you to supply them. For example, now with Uganda going into the oil and gas sector,
yes,
a lot of the SMEs that are going to supply products and services in those sectors should be able to prove that they meet the requirements for quality management systems. And that is important for them to access business. And we hope that they will be able to get more value from that if they can access larger markets also.
Okay.
Yeah.
And to illustrate, and people are going to wonder, I want to put the dots together. I supply eggs to the UN.
Yeah.
What's the big deal with ISO?
The big deal is the UN needs consistency in the supply of the eggs.
Consistency.
Yes, consistency. They also need the assurance that you will be able to focus on their requirements, the locations that they operate in, the quantities of eggs that they use per day, per month, per year. And you can guarantee that they will always be the same quality. That today you will not supply half or small or shriveled eggs compared to the next day. Now that is where the system becomes important.
Yeah.
It helps you plan and operate your processes as efficiently as possible to deliver value to your customers.
Yeah, very interesting. So in other words, if I am prospecting to be serving, having clients like in the oil sector, it might be wise for me to come to UNBS for system certification. Am I on the correct point?
Yes, you're on the correct point. It may be wise for you, especially if you're in the services sector. For services, we don't certify products. So we shall certify the system that delivers the service.
Okay.
You can think of any service: cleaning, fumigation, transportation, security. We certify companies that provide those services to these different sectors, and especially to the a sector as important as the oil and gas sector.
Okay.
Now, if you're making products, the minimum is you first get the product certification.
The Q mark.
The Q mark. After that, you'll start looking at what do my customers want, and that is where the system certification comes in. Okay. The different systems we offer, quality systems, food safety systems, environment management systems, health and safety systems, information security systems. You can imagine if you are a company that is probably offering services where you keep data for other companies. It will be important for you to have an information security.
Financial technology companies.
Yeah, for sure they need information security systems that guarantee that they will be able to protect that data that they have. And the international standards written that give the requirements for you to attest. Now, individual attestation is where you make a declaration, let's say in an advertisement, that you meet the requirements of the standard. But when you get certification, you're getting a third party to confirm.
Looking in.
Yes, another one who is not an interested party between you and your customer, or between you and the companies that you supply. That is us, and we're there to ensure that we check that you meet the requirements that are expected to be met regarding the system.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, almost the final question. Okay, I come to you to get product certification. One, of course, the product is, I am obeying the law. But businesses are driven by what I get out of it, the return on investment, so to speak. What's the return on investment for me if I get these certifications, especially the system one? Okay,
we expect businesses to get more value in the market. So if you get, let's say, the product certification, it is not only for the local market. You can also access the East African community market without undue delays between borders. Yeah. So a lot of our certified products are going to the different countries in the region. Same with system certification. You find that we expect you to access larger markets. So the value is in the expanded business. Even locally, you should be able to supply each and every sector without undue delays. Undue delays is where there are other barriers or checks that are put in place. Yeah. And for example, you're stopped at the border and they have to test each and everything in a consignment to confirm that you meet a standard, which would have been done by at the certification level, and then you can move into the market without having any issues.
Okay.
Yeah.
Finally, people fear cost on both of these issues. Please give me some assurance. Give us some assurances. People say, that thing is expensive before even they find out. Tell us something about the cost.
Well, the cost is, we expect the system to be part of your business processes. So on your side, we don't expect you to hire, for example, new people to implement a system. The people who are there should basically look at their requirements and be able to implement. So we don't expect it to increase cost on your side. On our side, we're offering services, what we call conformity assessment. So if we pick your product and test it at our laboratory, you probably don't need to invest heavily in equipment to test on site. You may be doing some basic testing to cover just the requirements that make you comfortable that the product meets the standard. We're also investing in technical advice to the, especially SMEs.
Yeah.
We have the best people in the field who can advise the SMEs on what to do to improve on the quality and safety of products. So, and we do not charge money for those services. We give them to the public for free as a government organization. Then the cost of certification is an annual cost. So it will not be a recurring cost that you have to pay. And if you look at it over the long period, you probably are not paying more than 10,000 a day or 5,000 a day, depending on the system or the certification. But all on the in the long term, it is allowing you access to markets that you probably will not be able to access without the certifications.
Okay.
So that is what we expect as the value that you obtain.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Philip, for taking us through, trying to be non-technical.
Okay.
When you could have been technical. Viewers, certification is not a new word, I presume. And there is the product and systems. You see people advertising and say we are ISO certified. It's not for nothing. It's because they're trying to tell people who care that you can trust us. Ask yourself, do they trust you and your systems? It's time you consider certification, and UNBS can help you in this regard. Thank you for joining us. That was The Link tonight.